Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns are headed to the Western Conference Finals. This is after they swept Nikola Jokic, the MVP, and the Denver Nuggets out of the playoffs. And we're going to talk about what a championship would do for Chris Paul if he's able to win it this year right after the break. What's good, good people? My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns are the first team to punch their ticket to a conference finals. They're headed to the Western Conference Finals after they swept the Denver Nuggets in Nikola Jokic 4-0. And this is big in part to Chris Paul, who is averaging 25 and 10 in the playoffs. Chris Paul is averaging 25 points and 10 assists during the playoffs. He's also shooting, I think, like 60% from three. No, 60% from the field, over 50% from three, and 100% from the free throw line. He's yet to miss a free throw. Chris Paul is killing it. Chris Paul is literally trying to etch his name. His name's already in history books. He's one of the greatest point guards to ever play in the NBA. But how high can Chris Paul elevate himself on the greatest of all time point guards list, especially if he's able to win a title? Now, right now, who are the best point guards in the history of the NBA, you might ask? Well, you got to go with like Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Steph Curry, maybe even John Stockton or somebody. And then obviously Chris Paul's in there. And then, you know, some honorable mentions are guys like, I don't know, Jason Kidd or Steve Nash or like those guys, maybe like whatever, they're in the Hall of Fame. But Chris Paul's in that top five already. If I had to pick my top five, I'd probably go Magic. And it's hard for me to put somebody over Chris Paul. Now, obviously, you want to do Steph and Isaiah Thomas, so probably go over him on most people's top five. I've already said how I feel about is Chris Paul greater sign Steph Curry. That's just me. That's just me. You ain't got to agree with me, but that's just me. But Isaiah Thomas led his team to two NBA championships. He's a 10, 12-time All-Star. He's got to be above Chris Paul. So it's probably Magic, Isaiah Thomas, which a lot of people don't talk about. And then Chris Paul, Steph Curry somewhere, and then John Stockton maybe rounds out the top five. That's probably how it goes on my list. Now, how high can Chris Paul go with this championship? Well, he can never pass up Magic. Magic's got 5 titles, went to the championship 9 times in 12 years, 2 or 3 league MVPs. He's not going to pass him up. It's hard. That's not up for debate. It's going to be really hard if to ever pass up Isaiah Thomas now that Chris Paul's 36. Isaiah Thomas, like I said, is like a 10 or 12-time All-Star, a 2-time NBA champion. He was the leader on those NBA championships too, not like riding the bench. Like, no, he was the NBA champion in the era of Bird and Magic and the transition era to Michael Jordan. Isaiah Thomas led those Detroit Bad Boys teams to the NBA championship. Yeah, like to win a title from Magic and prevent Jordan from getting his first title for a long time, that's pretty special. So I don't think Chris Paul can ever get higher than 3. It's in that debate with Steph Curry to me, like whether you think Chris Paul is or Steph Curry. My thing with Steph Curry is, yes, he revolutionized basketball. Steph Curry is the greatest three-point shooter in the history of the game. He literally made it to where it's hard to play centers, back to the basket centers. Like unless you're a what am I trying to say? Like a transcendental a defensive player like Rudy Gobert, it's hard to play you if you can't make threes as a center. Like you got to be like Joel Embiid nowadays. There's more Joel Embiid or Joel Embiid types than Rudy Gobert in 2021 in the NBA in 2021. So that's why most people are going to give the edge to Steph. Most people will probably even put Steph over Isaiah Thomas. Now, the thing about Steph Curry is when he's on a team that's even or lower than the teams he goes against, he's not as good. Not only is he not as good, he doesn't seem to elevate said team. Chris Paul, I've seen take teams that weren't supposed to make the playoffs and take them to the conference finals. Like the Phoenix Suns last year didn't make the playoffs. This exact same team. Monty Williams, You add Chris Paul, and I'm not going to sleep on the addition of Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder has been huge for them. So, but besides that, Chris Paul is the reason why this team is the way it is. Last year on OKC, that team had a 0.5% chance, not a whole percentage point. They didn't have a whole percentage point, according to ESPN FPI, to make the playoffs. And not only did they make the playoffs in the Western Conference, the tougher conference, they were like a 5 seed. They were like a 4 or 5 seed in the West. This Phoenix Suns team had the second best record in all of basketball. That is the effect of Chris Paul. Steph Curry doesn't have that same effect on his team. His team couldn't beat Memphis in a damn playoff game and a play-in game with Kelly Oubre and Andre Wiggins and Draymond Green. They couldn't beat Memphis, a team whose best player is 22 years old. They couldn't beat them in a play-in game. And then last year, they didn't make the playoffs at all. And Steph Curry stays hurt. You know, when Steph Curry, maybe he's better than Chris Paul when you got Clay and Draymond and Kevin Durant. Yeah, he probably is better than Chris Paul. A lot of people look better than Chris Paul when you get Clay and Draymond and Kevin Durant. That's why you win titles. But when it's bottom of the barrel, who is elevating their team when it matters the most? Who is elevating their team to levels and heights that they did not expect to get to, that they did not expect of their team? It's not Steph Curry. It's Chris Paul. And that matters. And that is why I would put Chris Paul above Steph Curry. So what can this title do to him? I think it can only raise him to number 3. But that is really, really good. The third best point guard of all time, Chris Paul. I'm willing to put it out there. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. of the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please, please, please hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.